Mr. Speaker, today I would like to provide this Honorable House with a report on the recent developments within the Universal Postal Union, UPU, particularly pertaining to the contentious issue of rates charged by countries for the handling of mail and parcel flowing through their postal services. Mr. Speaker, honorable members will recall that in July of this year, I gave a background on the history of the UPU as well as its composition of 192 member countries, including Bermuda. In my previous report in this Honorable House, I mentioned the problems the UPU was facing, the stance of the United States of America pertaining to rates charged for shipment of mail and parcels. Mr. Speaker, as a backdrop to the impasse, the postal remuneration system, also known as the terminal dues system, ensures that countries are compensated for the cost of handling, transporting, and delivering bulky letters and small packages across borders. Member countries agreed on a new system during the 2016 Universal Postal Congress in Istanbul. However, the USA consistently voiced displeasure with this new system. Mr. Speaker, I attended the third extraordinary Congress of the UPU, which was held in Geneva, Switzerland from September 24th to 26th. This Honorable House will recall my previous statement concerning the UPU and the significant challenges it faced with the announcement that the USA intended to leave the UPU in order to set its own postal rates. As I previously mentioned, under 2016 fee structure, the USA was restricted by the UPU in what it could charge for handling parcels imported into the USA. Mr. Speaker, at this extraordinary Congress, several options were discussed on the way forward regarding the terminal dues charged country to country for the handling of mail and parcel. This country was swiftly arranged specifically to vote on the various proposals devised by the UPU in response to USA declared intention to leave the UPU in order to charge its own rates. Mr. Speaker, 153 countries were represented at this third extraordinary Congress, with valuable 400 delegates present. Mr. Speaker, at this Congress, the USA issued a statement that included assertion that it was costing USA a disproportionate amount of money to ship parcels through the U.S. They also reaffirmed their position that countries should be allowed to declare their own rates and that they fully intended to do so. However, they say they are willing to compromise given the right for the USA to have self-declared rates while other countries implemented it over a 5-year period. The USA urged those present to support their plan for self-declared rates as they believe it was beneficial to all concerned. Representatives from other countries with large economies, including Canada, Australia, Norway, Brazil, New Zealand, and South Africa, while aligning with the USA, called for changes in the way terminal dues were structured, since not all of them fully support the USA position. Of significant note is that China, one of the largest exporters of goods in the world, opposed the proposal of the United States and supported a compromise proposal that would achieve a win-win for all countries. Mr. Speaker, likewise, other economic powers such as Japan, Germany, and France supported a compromise proposal that will see a gradual change in the terminal dues remuneration system. Mr. Speaker, I hasten to note that at the UPU Congress, the United Kingdom had 2 votes, 1 vote for themselves and 1 vote for the overseas territories, including Bermuda. Although I had my finger on the button to vote on behalf of the overseas territories, it was clear that we had to vote under the direction of the United Kingdom. In this particular situation, the UK supported option A. Bermuda, however, would have benefited best under option B. I've asked the Foreign Office to look into how OTs could cast their own votes, since Bermuda pays approximately $80,000 annually to the member as a member of the UPU. Mr. Speaker, eventually the UK supported a compromise to the position of the USA, while also recognizing the need for the structure of the terminal dues to evolve in order to preserve cost-efficiency service to our communities. Mr. Speaker, initially there were 3 major options proposed and discussed at this extraordinary Congress. They were as follows. Option A, a proposal by the UPU under which in 2020 all except the least developed countries will pay the same rates of terminal dues. Option B, the proposal made by the USA, which will allow all countries to set their own terminal rates up to a maximum of 100% of the domestic postal tariff. Or option C, a compromise option which will allow countries some freedom to set their own terminal dues subject to caps over a fixed time period. Mr. Speaker, over the course of 2 days of grueling negotiations, several variations of option B and C emerged, and these received close consideration and scrutiny by member countries. After much deliberation and presentation by several countries, the first vote was cast on option B as amended by a proposal by South Africa. There were 140 countries present for this vote, and option B was defeated by a count of 57 for 78 against, with 9 abstentions. Mr. Speaker, it was clear from this vote that there was a significant difference of opinion on the way forward on this vexatious and controversial issue. Following this vote, a wide range of proposals and amendments emerged, all of which were carefully considered. An additional option labeled option V essentially emerged after several meetings and predominantly between the USA and the UEP headquarters staff. During deliberation of this new option, the USA stated that it would remain in the UEP if it was approved. In essence, option V allows qualifying countries to set their own terminal rates at 70% of its tariff rates, with an annual increment of 1% up to a limit of 80%. During debate and discussion of this new option, over 35 countries voiced their strong support for it. The Actionary Congress overwhelmingly approved the option V proposal by acclamation. Mr. Speaker, the decision will see the UP accelerate rate increases to the system used to remunerate the delivery of inbound internationally bulky letters and small packages while phasing in self-declared rates starting as soon as 2020. Under the agreed solution, member countries that meet certain requirements, including inbound letter post volumes in excess of 75,000 tons, based on 2018 data, would be able to opt into self-declared rates starting July 1st, 2020. Interesting enough, the United States was the only country that can do that. Mr. Speaker, the decision also included a threshold to protect low-volume developing countries from the impact of the SWIFT reform. The anticipated result of this new system for calculating terminal dues is an increase in revenue for the Bermuda Post Office. For example, we anticipate an increase in revenue of $167,800, or 49% for 2020, and $72,000 plus, or 21% for 2021. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.